People have been calling Ashlin Couch the sixth roommate for like ever now, but allegedly she moved out of King Road 6 months prior to the night of the murders. Hmm. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only, and just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, so this morning on Twitter, I saw this article, and we are going to go over it right now because they have not had any friends or anybody at all come out and talk in a very, very, very long time. So I'm going to assume that since Ashlin Couch is out here publicly speaking, she's not under a gag order. So this was posted yesterday, May 7th, but I didn't see it until this morning on Twitter. This is KXLY out of Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. This is one of those like local stations that the survey guy would have gotten a lot of his information from for all those crazy questions. And this is Ashlin Couch. She knew pretty much everyone that lived at King Road. See, a lot of people, I never really dug too far into her. I never found a reason to. And until I find a reason to, I'm not digging that far. I know there's been a lot happening on the Ashlin Couch journey, okay? I'm not blind or oblivious to the other channels that dig farther than they need to on pretty much every little thing ever. So I know that this has gone, like, this has caused all kind of crazy rabbit holes. Just her existence has caused all kinds of crazy rabbit holes, honestly. So I'm actually really interested in the fact that she's coming out and talking right now because we've got all of this information coming out that's really starting to make it look like the state doesn't have much of a case. And we haven't heard anyone talk at all because of this gag order. Well, now here comes Ashlin, who actually used to live there, knew the victims, all the things, and now she's out here talking. So that must mean that whatever Ashlin might know, it might not be gag order worthy. You know what I mean? So let's go through the article and see if there's any new information. Again, I skim through. I don't get into the details and read every little word until I am recording it to react to it with you guys. So this is called Special Report, The Roommate's Promise. The title itself is already misleading because in my skimming, she very blatantly states that she moved out 6 months prior and Xana is actually the one that took over her spot. So I don't know why they're calling her the roommate because that's not technically true. In 2020, Ashlin Couch moved in with her best friends, Kaylee Goncalves and Maddie Mogen on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. Now, straight off the bat, I am effing confused. We were told that Maddie Mogen lived in that house for probably around like 2 years, but that Kaylee lived in an apartment somewhere else prior to moving into King Road sometime over the summer. Because, as we're looking through things that are strange, I noticed that Bryan Kohberger moved from Pennsylvania to WSU at the pretty much same time-ish frame that Kaylee moved from wherever it was that she was living before to the King Road house. So I don't know, is there something about 2020 that we don't know? Did Kaylee actually live in that house before and move out for some reason to that other apartment and then move back? That needs clarification, honestly, because the first freaking sentence just completely threw me off. She never expected that home to become the scene of 4 gruesome murders in a story known nationwide. In an emotional interview, Ashlin explained the moment she found out her best friends were killed. "Are you okay?" The last text Ashlin sent to Madison the morning she found out the news. Ashlin said it's not easy to talk about, but agreed to share her story with 4 News Now because she said she could have been in that house on the night of November 13th of 2022. But years before that unthinkable night, 6 U of I students moved into their first off-campus home. One of those 6 was Ashlin. Okay, so again, did Kaylee used to live in that house and then moved out and then moved back in? I'm really sort of confused. Ashlin moved out just 6 months before the murders. Okay. So I actually moved out in May of 2022, so the very beginning of summertime. And then Xana took over my lease. Okay. Fast forward to November 13th of 2022. Ashlyn received a message now burned into her memory. The text was from the University of Idaho alerting her of a suspected homicide on King Road. Okay, well, that wouldn't have been until after the 911 call. Then I remember, I think, getting a second alert, or I had been driving home and I texted like our group of friends and just had said, "Has anyone heard from Maddie?" And I remember like my last text message to her was like, "Are you okay?" And I felt it like right then and there. I just kind of knew that something was wrong. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. If they're all best friends, if all three of them are best friends, why would she have only texted Maddie about if Maddie was okay? I don't find it strange that she texted Maddie to ask if she was okay after hearing, about this situation apparently at King Road. I find it strange that she only texted Maddie because we sort of knew like this whole time that Kaylee had been moved out. Not like her stuff, all of her things were still there. That's why Christy even makes a comment about how like her trash didn't look like it had been gone through in her bedroom because her stuff was still in the bedroom. Some of her things was actually still at that house. She had been living pretty much back at her parents' house and working remotely, but she was moving to Austin, like most of us know, but some of her stuff was still in that house. That's why my theory, and always has been my theory, is that she heard something in Maddie's room, left Murphy in her bedroom, and then walked down to Maddie's room and walked in on whatever was possibly happening. That's one of my biggest theories. I don't believe they fell asleep in the same room at all. Something can change my mind with real proof, but no, I don't believe for 1 second they fell asleep in the same bedroom. But we also know that no one knew about that Range Rover because Kaylee drove there to surprise Maddie with it, to show it off to Maddie as a surprise. It wasn't on social media. So, did no one even know that Kaylee was coming back into town? Because Ashlyn didn't text Kaylee and ask Kaylee if she was okay because she knew she was back in town for the night. It's almost as if Ashlyn was still under the assumption that Kaylee was back in Coeur d'Alene at her parents' house, right? The reality still haunts her. A horrible tragedy took place in her old bedroom, which would be where Xana and Ethan were found. It crosses my mind more than that. That could have happened while I was there. And you never know how long someone is watching your house, which isn't a false statement at all. The vibrant, once full of life house is gone. It has taken time for Ashlyn and her mom to process their grief. More than a year after the four deaths, the mother and daughter are now making a promise to the roommates. Oh, okay, that's where the title came from. I want to, spread some kind of message and start something. Help people, just do something more with this life that we are grateful to still be living, said Ashlyn. Ashlyn has a large part in a new foundation for Maddie and Kaylee. As the co founder of the Made with Kindness Foundation, Ashlyn helped create the Maddie Kaylee Scholarship Fund to help support the lives of college students while spreading kindness and compassion. The first charity gala is on June 15th in Post Falls. Let's see what this is right here. Okay, yeah, I've seen this before. I have seen this before. About us. Let's see. I speak for many when I say Maddie Mogen and Kaylee Goncalves were a light in not only my life, but every room they walked into. I am beyond grateful to have known Maddie and Kaylee in this lifetime. The Made with Kindness Foundation is a way to keep their legacy alive through the characteristics that made Maddie and Kaylee who they are and how they impacted those around them. Good friendship is something to cherish in this world, and I am lucky to have had Maddie and Kaylee's throughout some of the best and hardest years of our lives. The endless laughter and crazy times with them are memories I will never forget and cherish forever. The Maddie Kaylee Scholarship Fund will give us the opportunity to help support the lives of college students and spread kindness and compassion. This foundation is meant to be something as beautiful as the souls of Maddie and Kaylee. I mean, yeah, it's cute. They got a couple different people working their stuff. I wonder what, like, she looks familiar. I feel like, okay, no. This girl right here looks familiar. Anyway, I wonder what the credentials are or whatever. Let's see what the scholarships are. Oh, you have to fill out an application. Okay, but what is the thing? Oh, I wonder what it looks like. Maybe. Purpose aims to support students who exemplify dedication, ambition, and kindness in pursuing their educational dreams by offering scholarships up to $2,500. So I guess it's kind of like based on what you plan to do educationally. Because, like, can you really, like, apply for a kindness foundation scholarship if you're planning on being an accountant? I mean, maybe if you plan on being, like, a counselor or a nurse or something like that, but I don't know. That's cool though. I mean, I don't disagree with like scholarships and things like that being done in the names of these victims. Like if that's a way for, their names to continue on, then I'm all for it. I don't find anything wrong with it. I just find issues with the fact that the school hasn't been honest with the families about what like the money for what they've raised for stuff is supposed to do. Yeah. Ashlin plans to raise awareness and educate students on social media safety. That is so ironic. Because what did we just talk about? Like the Goncalveses are pressing this whole thing about how, he had to have stalked them. He had to have stalked them. It was all over social media. He was following them everywhere. He was envious of them, right? But they're posting literally every picture that they take of their freaking gorgeous family on Facebook for these freaking thousands and thousands of people to see. And it's just wild to me because as much as they are like adamant that that is how Bryan is like got his target on the girls, it's almost like they're just like out there sending bait out. I mean, people might take the way that I just said that wrong, but how are you going to sit here and harp on the fact that he followed and stalked your daughter through social media and you're just blasting your kids still all over social media in a bigger way than Kaylee ever could have reached before? Because prior to this was just a normal situation, a normal social media account, right? Prior to this, there wasn't a family page that had the whole world watching it. Now there is. Instead of keeping all of their family stuff private because of this situation scaring the shit out of them and them wanting to take their kids' stuff off of social media because of what they really think Bryan did here, they're just blasting it out there even faster than before. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Even when college seems carefree, she said, everyone should still be cautious. I couldn't even walk to my car in the dark for months after, it happened. Like, you just want to at least feel a little bit safer. And if we can help college students do that and just create more awareness of that and just help them feel a little bit safer knowing that something like this had happened, I think it's helpful in any way. Ashlyn lost her closest friends in a home that held some of her favorite memories, yet one wish will go forever unfulfilled.
You wish that you could just say goodbye, and that's one thing that I just wish that I could do at least one more time is like, just give her one last hug just to be able to say goodbye.
But that's it for the article, you guys. I want to know what y'all think. Not only about what I just mentioned, about how it seems as if Ashlyn would not have known that Kaylee was in town. Because if she did, why wouldn't she have also tried to get a hold of Kaylee via text whenever she heard this information? Why did she only attempt to text Maddie? Not just that, but the whole they all moved in together back in 2020 thing is extremely interesting to me too. Because that's not what we've been hearing this whole time. Like at all. At least not whenever it comes to Kaylee. We've known that about Maddie, but we didn't know that about when it comes to Kaylee. So if this is incorrect, I would really, really like to know. So I might do what I've done before and send an email for clarification because that really does kind of change kind of what we've thought. It does. So I want to know what you guys think. Have you guys seen this article yet? Did you see it before we talked about it here on this channel? Let me know that too down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. See y'all.